So this is Mindset Mastery Podcast. This is Joey, and I'm here with Jessica Wright. Jessica, tell me a little bit about what you do and, why you do it.
So, thank you so much for having me.
Sure.
My business is Wright Workforce Solutions. I am the CEO, and we literally strive to help every small business entrepreneur and startup with all of their HR, payroll, grant writing needs, because we want them to succeed and accelerate as fast as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm so excited about how fast this business has taken off.
Yeah.
We've been in business about 2.5 years now. And so we're helping businesses right now in Cincinnati, Dayton, Columbus, Toledo, and Cleveland.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you are in 4 cities?
Yes.
4 cities right now.
Yeah.
Wow. And you started this business.
I did.
Wow. That's awesome.
When I started, I was a one-woman show.
How many people do you have now?
5.
5 people underneath you.
Yes.
Let's go. That's pretty cool. That's not easy.
No, it was not easy, but it was something that I just realized was such a necessity.
Yeah.
I was seeing small businesses just come and go, or struggle, or have to let staff go, or downsize, or it was just, they were closing so quickly.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand why. And I had some entrepreneur friends who just really were like, Jessica, this is a thing. This is a need. This is a business. And once I really got into it, I realized what a big need it was.
Wow.
And so I was so happy that I could really, really make a difference.
Yeah. Wow. That's so crazy. And so you started this business. What were you doing before this? Because you started this 2 years ago, right?
Yeah. So prior to this, I was the senior VP of workforce development at a local nonprofit. And then I did that for a few years. And then prior to that, for 8 years, I was the director of workforce engagement at another local nonprofit. So I've spent about 15 plus years in nonprofit, because I was also in nonprofit before that as well.
Dang. Okay. So you're passionate about nonprofit.
I'm passionate about people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. What really brought you into this space? Like serving people or being passionate about people, because that's not everybody is. Some people are passionate about making money.
Yeah.
So
that's very true. I think it really was my mom, to be honest with you. My mom was in the care industry her entire career. So in nursing home, she was the administrator of a nursing home. She actually worked her way up. She started as an STNA, an aide, things like that, worked her way up to program administrator. And so I was always around, elderly people, things like that, caring all the time, caring for people. So I really think that's where it came from.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And do you have any kids?
I do. I have 2.
2 kids.
2 kids. Yeah. Sasha and Keaton.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, how old are they?
24 and 14.
Okay. So a little bit of an age gap.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Every time I say that, I always kind of give a little, because everybody always says, there's no way you have a 24-year-old. And I'm like, I know.
100%. I was like,
I know.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way you got a 24-year-old.
I know. But it's something that I openly talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Being a teen mom, I had my daughter when I was 14.
Wow.
After I had her, and I made it to my junior and senior year, I actually started traveling to other local high schools and talking about my experience as a teen parent.
Wow.
Just to let other teenagers know, this isn't what you want. This isn't,
it's not easy.
Yeah. Let's wait.
Yeah.
So I spoke on panels, and sometimes I even spoke alone. It was a program. I don't think it exists anymore, but it used to be called the Grads program. And so I used to go around and just talk about my journey and my experience as a teen parent. And so it's something that I openly talk about.
Wow. That's crazy. And you finished high school.
I did.
You went to college.
I did.
You started a business.
I did.
That's so cool. Now, your oldest, did she go to college?
She did.
Okay.
She actually didn't take a break. She went right from high school into summer semester and went straight through 4 years.
Wow.
She's a nurse, but she was a nursing student.
Yeah.
Did her NCLEX, passed her NCLEX on her first try.
Wow.
Became a nurse. She's a joint and spine nurse at a local hospital in Cincinnati.
Nice.
And I'm so proud of her.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Sorry. So how do you feel as a parent? Did she go through any similar experiences you did? Like,
Absolutely not.
okay, cool. Great.
That's my number one goal for both my children, actually, is just to break that generational cycle of teen parenting.
Yeah.
So my mother was not a teen parent, but my siblings were.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how compared to we don't have to compare to your siblings, but
Yeah.
are there other people in your family that you feel or in your circle that you've helped influence, like that you've helped influence, like, hey, this is not something you should do. I don't recommend this for your life.
I do. I feel like my nieces, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my sister has 4 daughters.
Wow.
Only one of them has a child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. So now let's get back to the business.
Yes.
Though those experiences in and of themselves, being a teen mom and then finishing college or finishing high school, then going to college as a mom, you know, as a parent, ain't no way I was in college thinking of like, if I had a kid, oh my gosh, I have 2 babies right now. And I'm like losing my mind sometimes, like trying to focus or get stuff done.
Yeah.
Because they are so dependent, dependent on you, and like they need that attention. They need that love. And
Absolutely.
if you want to be a good parent, you probably want to give them that love and give them that care, but
Absolutely.
that means you're sacrificing other things. And most likely it was sleep. So how did you get through like those young like moments, those young points in life where you're now a new parent and trying to finish these things? I know you had some help, but that only goes so far.
Well, honestly,
what helped you overcome?
I would say it was definitely my support system for sure. And it was the time sacrifice is really what it was. When Sasha was little, my mom worked and my dad was retired. He was a retired veteran. And so I was actually very, very fortunate. And so, my dad, you would see him mowing the lawn and you would see Sasha pushing her little bubble mower right behind him. So, she was raised with lots and lots of love. And so I actually did a post-secondary option program my junior and senior year where I went to high school in the morning and college in the afternoon. And so, for me, it was just, there's no other choice. Failure is not an option. And I think that I took that lesson throughout my business, throughout all of these years. There's no's not an answer. If one person tells you no, you don't get this grant, you don't get this client, you don't get this. There's a million more out there, just keep going. And, even when I first had my daughter return to school, I remember the principal of the school sitting across from me and saying, "We don't want your kind here. You're not, you're probably not going to graduate. Your daughter's probably not going to graduate." And this was the principal of the high school. So my mom ended up pulling me out. And my 10th grade year, I moved across town, different high school, bought a house. Yeah. So I think that was a huge moment for me, when she looked at me and she's like, "You will not be a statistic." And so that's something that has always stuck with me in a sense of, now that I'm a business owner, my business will not be a statistic.
Wow. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I love that you talked about, having a good support system. And I feel like that's super important in anything you do. It's great to have the drive and it's great to have the initiative and the passion or maybe the need, and you want to do something. But if you don't have a good support system backing you up,
right,
like that can be tough.
Yeah. And really that's what Right Workforce Solutions is, in a sense of you're a new business owner, you are Mary, you're wearing 18 different hats.
All the time.
You're wearing all the hats, but you don't know what you don't know, right? So how do you properly onboard someone? How do you write your first employee handbook? how do you fight your first unemployment claim
Mm.
when you know that you're in the right and the employee's in the wrong and they're just trying to get whatever money they can get from you, but you don't have that money. You
Mm.
don't have that 10 grand as a small new business
Mm-hmm.
to pay that unemployment, right? There's so many different aspects of this.
Mm.
So who do you call? Who do you trust? And then, Gabby is the person on my team who handles payroll. So what taxes am I supposed to be paying? What deduction
Yeah.
I supposed to be taking out? The city's going to come for you.
Yeah.
You're going to
100%.
get a subpoena.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like if you're not paying your workman's comp, you're not paying your city taxes, they're going to come for you and they
Wow.
can shut you down.
Yeah.
And these are things that you might not even know. Like
Mm.
it's not your fault.
Yeah.
You started your business for your passion.
Yeah.
You didn't start it for the paperwork.
No, not at all.
So, this is where we come in. We take that weight off of you.
Yeah.
We're not consulting.
Hmm.
We're doing the work.
Yeah.
We're actually coming in and saying, okay, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to do it. This is what we're going to do. Let us do this for you.
Yeah.
You focus on why you started this business in the first place.
Mm.
Just breathe.
Yeah.
We got you.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So like being a HR business essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and like starting that, what was that like? Because I can't imagine it was easy at first. You've been in this for 2 years. The first year is always your hardest. What things did you have to overcome mentally to be able to stay here, to stay what you're doing and then multiply, grow?
I think mentally, it's always that self-doubt of like, can I do this? Are
Mm.
people really going to believe in this? Do people really need this?
Hmm.
And I had some really, really great entrepreneur friends who shared their needs with me
Yeah.
and shared their pain points and shared, what would actually be helpful for them.
Mm.
So being able to take that and grow and make sure that you really are in a place where you can accept that feedback too. Because, sometimes the feedback isn't always positive.
Mm-mm.
But that's okay. You can take that and you can use that to actually grow your business.
Hmm. What steps did you take in growing your business? So how many people did you start off with when you started your business, when you're like, oh, this is something I can do? People are telling me I should do it. Great. We're starting it. What steps did you take to grow that business?
So I listened to my clients. So a lot of my clients were saying, I need help with payroll. I need help with marketing. I need help with grant writing.
Mm.
If only I could get this grant, I could expand my business further, but I, A, don't have time to write it. B, I don't know how to write it.
Mm.
Or C, I've written 5 grants and lost them all. Right. So I'm like, okay. Once I heard it so many times from so many different clients or so many different people, I'm like, okay, this is the niche. This is the need. So I added people to my team based on the needs of my clients
Hmm.
to grow my business.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's awesome. How many clients did you start off with?
3.
You started with 3?
Mhm.
Now, the new, like, how did you get more? Was it like word of mouth? Did you like connect with new people? Did you go to like business conferences or like local different events? Like, how did you grow?
It was definitely a lot of word of mouth.
Yeah.
Networking. I invested in an accelerator program and started to invest in myself so that I could learn and understand how to market myself. I had also had a lot of connections from the nonprofit world
Mhm.
because I was fortunate enough to be in executive leadership in nonprofit. I had a lot of connections from that circle.
Yeah.
So,
That's so cool.
yeah.
So it was investing in yourself, but also networking. So
Mhm.
it's like, it's not just, you can just do one thing. You had to do quite a few things.
Multiple, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what are some things that you tell smaller business owners, because that's mainly what you deal with, right?
Yeah. Well, as of late, it's starting to get a little bit bigger, but
Cool.
yeah.
That's good. I mean, that's
Yeah.
great. What are some things that you encourage them or that they face that you like have that you try to walk them through?
I would say a lot of my clients right now, their biggest challenge is strategy. How are we going to sit down and tackle um, operational strategy and talent pipeline is also are two of the biggest challenges that my clients are facing right now. And so making time is the number one. You have to sit down and make time to tackle the challenges strategically. We have to be able to say, okay, this is the challenge that the business is facing.
Yeah.
We can't run from it. We can't avoid it. We can't say we're too busy to talk about it. We're too busy to think about it. We have to face it head on. Because if we don't, it's just going to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. And then the next thing we know, we're going to have the snowball effect.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. And you said talent pipeline. How do you work that? Like, that was a cool word you said. And I was like, oh, cool. I want to ask about that.
Everyone is struggling to find just quality talent in a sense of employees who really are invested in the business. And entrepreneurs sometimes think of their business as their baby.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah.
Sometimes that mindset when you're hiring is a bad mindset to have. It's not the best mindset to have because you're never going to find someone to work for your company that's going to treat your business like your baby. It's not going to happen. You're never going to find someone who's going to work for your business as hard as you do. It's not going to happen. So it's those unrealistic expectations that cause this rift in talent.
That's so good.
You have to understand that this is your employee. This is not your partner. This is not somebody who, you're going to find good talent, and good talent takes time, but you have to build into them. You have to build that trust with them.
Yeah.
You have to train them well. You have to carve out the time to train them. And entrepreneurs, oftentimes, that's another big mistake that we make. I've made it. You're off to the races. Again, we're doing 18 things.
Yep.
And we don't take the time to properly train them.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're upset that
when they don't produce the results that we want.
That we want.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so good. What would you say is a good basic amount of training time that a new employee should be, an employer or a small business owner should look to train somebody to say, you wanted to put a new salesperson on your team or a new marketing person on your team. What would be like a good amount of time like they should be training these people that would be realistic for them to expect some decent, some average results from somebody?
Well, it definitely varies on the type of business, but statistics actually say that it takes someone 18 months to actually really truly understand your business, any business. But I would say you really want to be able to give someone a good 4 weeks of training.
Wow.
4 weeks of actual training.
And that's just, wow.
Not saying that they can't work by themselves during that time, but the first 2 weeks are absolutely critical. Absolutely critical.
Yeah.
But you want to consider them in their training period, that first 4 weeks. But for someone to truly be able to send someone out at a networking event and feel like they can talk about your business in and out, inside and out, and it's 18 months.
Oh my gosh. That is a crazy statistic. I had no idea. I'd have been like, I'm like, she's about to say like 4 months. 18 months?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you almost have to have somebody, a year and a half, essentially, is how long you have. Statistically, you should have someone a year and a half for them to fully understand and know your business.
Fully be ingrained in the business.
Wow. Wow. And as a small business owner, like that's not something, ain't no way I'm thinking about that, dude. I'm thinking 2 weeks out right now. Like, hey, we got enough business for the next 2 weeks, month out, 2 months out, 18 months.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. So like now What are some reactions when you know, bring some of these business owners to reality?
um, I think that sometimes the business owners are taken aback, like, oh, well, maybe that's why this didn't work, or that's why this person didn't work. And some of them are just really, really receptive.
Hmm.
It just kind of depends. And I think, again, I can't stress this enough. It's the unrealistic expectation that the employee is going to treat your business like your baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're not.
Hmm. How do you overcome that? Knowing that now, how have you overcome that specific mindset that your employees are not going to treat this like your baby? So what did you do? What are some like blockers or some things that you set up for yourself to be like, how do I realize this, or how do I be okay with this?
Clear cut job descriptions, clear cut expectations, clear that while you're here, when you're on the clock, this is what I need from you. This is what I expect of you. This is what I need you to produce. You know, as long as someone knows what's expected of them, then 9 times out of 10, they're going to rise to the occasion. I believe that most people, 99% of people are inherently good. They want to do well. They not only want to meet expectations, they want to exceed expectations.
Mm.
But they also need to pay their bills and
Yeah.
take care of their families.
Yeah.
So as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, it's your job to give them those expectations. And that's also healthy.
Mm.
Because if you don't give them those expectations and they don't know what to do when they show up to work, that's our fault.
Mm.
It's not the employee's fault. That's
Yeah.
our fault.
Mm.
Because they're just going to come in and sit there and twiddle their thumbs and say, I got a job.
Yeah. Dang. That's so good.
Mm-hmm.
What expectations do you have for yourself that you've set?
So actually, if you walked in my living room right now, you would see, and it's only in my living room because I'm overhauling my office/guest room, but you would see my Christmas tree and on one wall, and then on the other wall, you would see, those oversized sticky notes?
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 of those that say 2025 goals, 2025 marketing plan, 2025.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's big and it's in your face. It's there.
Yeah. And I just keep adding to it of like,
That's so cool.
we're going to do 1 grant a month. I have a grant class I start tonight, actually.
What?
Yeah.
Like you're teaching the class?
No.
You're going to
I'm
the class.
taking the class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to grants, what kind of businesses can get grants? What kind of businesses can't get grants? Or
all businesses can get grants.
Really?
For-profits, nonprofits. Yeah.
Where can someone go to get a grant?
Oh, God.
It depends on what city.
That's what I'm learning. No. So like Verizon Wireless, for example.
Yeah.
You can take 3 of their small business courses online, and then you're eligible for a $5,000 grant. For example. Yeah. Your local city government has grants for small businesses. That some of those are sometimes zoned. You have to have, a brick and mortar in certain areas. United Way, your local United Way. I mean, you just have to get out there and look. And so that's also the grant class that I'm taking. It's a 5-week class, once a week for 2 hours. And so it teaches you how to source grants, how to, what should be in your grant, has to be in your grant, things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm continuously learning, because I have expansion goals.
Yeah.
So that's another paper.
Oh.
But yeah.
Expansion goals. Okay.
Expansion
What
goals.
does that look like? Where are you looking to expand to?
So
Hawaii, I'm assuming.
Oh God, yes, absolutely. Expansion for me looks like an entrepreneurship center in Cincinnati. I would love to partner with a couple key organizations and kind of be a place where entrepreneurs can come and get the resources that they need, and not in a sense of space, or not in a sense of, being able to just be with other like-minded entrepreneurs, but actually be able to come in, sit down, meet with my team and say, I don't know how to set up my QuickBooks.
Yeah.
I don't know the first thing about how to the proper way to terminate somebody. Can you help me?
That's good.
So,
not that it's good, but like knowing that it's important.
But can you? I don't have the funding right now to be able to bring your firm on, full time or whatever.
Yeah.
But I would like to just sit down, buy a few hours of your time, and talk to you.
Yeah.
I need help.
Wow.
Where anybody can come and get help whenever they need it. Or, hey, how do I do this LLC thing?
Yeah.
What's it all about?
Yeah.
Can you help me set this up? So anybody that needs help, small, large, medium, nonprofit,
Sure.
they can come and get help whenever they need it.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Probably one of my last questions is, how long do you spend on your business per week? How much time do you spend on your business per week?
Ooh. That is such a good question. I would probably say maybe 65, 70.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I feel like, pretty modest. Honestly, for a business owner, yeah. Like, it's not 9 to 5. It's more than that, for sure.
Yeah.
For just about any business owner.
Yeah. And my business has, each of my folks that partner with me, they have their own specialty, right? So I'm fortunate in a sense of, Gabby handles all the payroll. Jovan handles all the grant, anything that has to do with grant writing. Someone handles all the marketing. And so it's very, very unfortunate that, all the HR stuff comes to me. I'm in the process of hiring a second me.
Yeah.
So I'm fortunate that everyone has their own specialty. And so I don't necessarily have to handle everything all across the board, right? But yeah.
That's cool.
I wake up in the morning and I'm already doing emails from my phone in bed. Like,
absolutely. At night before I go to bed, I'm like, any work emails?
Right. What does my schedule look like for tomorrow? Exactly. I'm driving from client to client, doing client calls in the car. Yeah, you maximize every minute that you can.
Absolutely.
But, still having my 14-year-old who's very, very avid sports player and things like that, that's one of my boundaries. Like, I do not miss a sporting event. I do not, for any client, for anyone. Yeah. I do not miss a game ever.
Good. That's good.
That's a hard boundary for me.
Yeah.
So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you would encourage someone, like, they want to be, or they want to start a business, they want to start something? What would be something you would recommend to that person? Like, what kind of mindset should they have to try to accomplish their goal?
First, I would say talk to someone. If there's someone who's already doing it or doing something similar, talk to them. If you have the capacity, or if you have the ability to start it or try it, do it. Don't just wait and keep doubting. If you have the ability to do it, just do it.
Wow. Awesome. Well, thank you for being on our podcast today. This has been pretty fun.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Where can we reach you? Like, if somebody wanted to reach you to find your services or what you do you have a website?
Yes, it's therightworkforce.com. And then I'm also on all social media platforms.
Very cool. I'm going to make sure to tag, put the name in there for her website, and then I'll tag her stuff on here as well. And then I'll put her tag underneath in the description, and then feel free to share this to whoever you want. And hopefully this encouraged you or someone that you know that might want to be starting a business or want to be, in HR, or maybe has been in a similar life situation where you're, somebody who's a teen mom and doesn't know how to overcome some things, or somebody who's just trying to figure life out. This is a great opportunity for them to listen to, and some encouraging stuff right here. She's a great resource of knowledge, and she loves helping people. Like, seriously, she does. How many clients do you have?
Right now?
Yeah.
17
clients that she currently works with, trying to expand, and she helps all these people. I actually met her at a coffee shop last week. She was working with one of her clients, and just the nicest personality, great person to talk to. So listen, thank you for watching Mindset Mastery. We'll see you again next time.